Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com daily brief recap. Woohoo! Party! Woohoo! Hello, everyone. Hey, we're live on YouTube. Good to see. Happy Bitcoin face rip. Orgy, 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 party, orgy, party. Wow, what a crazy market, eh? 2020 going out with a bang. Oh, goodness. I mean, I spent lots of time probably over the past month or so saying the same thing over and over and over again. How do I keep telling you new people things? How do I keep, giving you value and stuff when we're coming into the end of one of these crazy ass cycles? And I wouldn't be surprised if you see stock markets and commodities and crypto, Bitcoin, face ripping straight up. Lots of moving parts here. Can you explain it through celestial events? Yes. Can you explain it through political events? Yes. Can you explain it through potential tax policy changes come January 1st? Yes. Can you explain it through people who hated Bitcoin that were in regulatory positions getting fired? And now those positions are empty. Nobody to hate Bitcoin anymore. Yes. Can you explain it through easy Fed monetary policy? Hey, you got all the free money you want. Fed printing presses go brrr, all that. Yes. This is like a perfect storm. And as I pointed out to our audience today, I don't really see any catalysts to stop any of this now. Probably for the next... I think the big catalyst political event-wise down in the United States is the election results have to be sort of formalized by the 14th of December. And I hate to say it, folks, even that itself is still almost a month away. I mean, I don't know what the hell's going to happen here over this next month. Usually, for whatever it's worth, we have often a pause the first to second week of December. And what it really is, and I guess it kind of makes sense with regard to Bitcoin. We have, this is what's called the, and really this is like a manufactured kind of, made up marketing capitalism holiday. This Black Friday event, I mean, that didn't exist when I was a kid. But anyway, here nor there, probably a lot of sales for this Christmas season. For instance, I was trying to pick up one of these PlayStation video game console things. I think the latest number is 5 or something like that. And you can't find them anywhere. They're just not for sale, which I find quite interesting. But it just sort of feels like there's some sort of big orgy face rip into this sort of Black Friday catalyst. And considering, too, that a lot of these online vending places are accepting Bitcoin right now, you wonder whether they're sort of juicing that up. So that when somebody comes on Black Friday and says, oh, I want to spend money online. Oh, I'm going to use Bitcoins. What's a Bitcoin? Oh, I don't know. You can go buy it over here and then sell it, right? And all that kind of talk, blah, blah, blah. What concerns me about all of that, and also, too, we were talking on the site today a little bit about the difference between fundamental analysis and quantitative analysis. If we, get news that big institutional players are coming hard on the buy side on Bitcoin, well, that's not really fundamental value. That's sort of like, okay, well, gee whiz, here comes a whole bunch of new demand, right? Supplies and demand equation. So in that kind of scenario, it's like, what's the inertia? Well, the inertia's on the buy side. I don't hear anybody talking about selling. So, in that phase, I can't see Bitcoin stopping going up. If anything, what has to happen is we have to start hearing about, what the way I anticipate this playing itself out is, who knows what the fuck the top is here. I spent probably half of this session. In fact, we have a fun stock picker club tonight. We meet on Tuesdays, TRISOF Club. And we're gonna actually put a pool out, and we're gonna have everybody enter the pool and pick a top on Bitcoin. In fact, we might even want to do it on the public channel too. It'd be kind of fun. Maybe I'll throw like I don't know, zero point zero 0.01, maybe 0.02 BTC into a pot or something like that. Which now is like, a few $100. What the hell? And let's pick a top. Everybody come up with your top. And I don't know where the hell the top is. You probably got a better chance at picking the top than I do. And we're just going to have fun with this. I mean, who knows where the hell the top is. And what's interesting is, last cycle, I remember we joked through the fall. Everybody was sort of thinking that 10,000 was a good psychological top for Bitcoin. And the damn thing went up to 20 Gs. So go figure. Having said that, we are in orgy mode. Especially, actually, and this, of course, is a testament to Seord building out these tools. This is exactly what should happen. Of course, our breadth is pointing up. We're not even really overbought yet here, so that means there's still more up. And look at the breadth indicators on the damn algo. I mean, hey, there's actually a bearish reading. Imagine that. And that's actually all the altcoins on Binance. Fascinating. Insurance is bearish. Isn't that interesting? Internet content and information, like Google and stuff, they're getting hit hard right now. But look at all the goddamn bullishness. Look at this. This is ridiculous. So we're heavily, heavily weighted to the bull side. And really, our breadth indicator, you can see in the short term, everything is up. Getting a little scary. All of the country funds, the whole bloody world is rallying right now. That's often indicative of the end of a move, not the beginning of the move. But you guys don't, I don't know whether anybody even listens to me when I say that kind of stuff. So just understand that the whole market is basically melting up here. And it wouldn't surprise me if Google also joins the crowd by the end of this. I heard Tesla finally got his S&P 500 index inclusion. So he's probably feeling a lot better. Some of our alternative fuel stocks, they're just going absolutely insane right now. So get out there and have some fun. Ironically enough, I'm the type of guy, if I'm going to actually buy something, I want to buy stuff that's right down at the bottom end of its range. So the stuff that I'm buying right now is not very sexy. I can't be a buyer of Bitcoins right here. This is the end of the move, not the beginning. So, I don't know where the hell the top is, but I'll tell you, we'll do our little raffle. And if we have maybe more than 20 people that join the raffle, then maybe what we'll do is we'll publish the consensus of numbers to give us an idea. And that, again, would be more sort of that quantitative kind of analysis, sentiment-driven analysis. I was a little surprised here to see U.S. dollar index gapping lower today, coming back up against these key lows. But I did kind of was wondering whether maybe they're setting a trap, as they often do. Notice through the morning, a little bit of a W comes in on the U.S. dollar and these indexes, and especially the commodity currencies. Look at the Canadian dollar and Australian dollar rolling over here. Bonds look like they're pointing back up, so that should mean stocks are a little heavy. And what's fascinating is we took a look at the VIX options information, and there is a really, really big incentive for them to actually knock this stock market down here tomorrow. So this should be a fun little experiment. I believe that the options boys, there's a huge incentive for them to get the VIX index up above 25. It's sitting at about 22 right now, which means they've got to engineer some reason for this stock market to come off smartly here. So let's see what happens. I believe there's some sort of bombshell about to be dropped. We'll see. And, one might argue that maybe Bitcoin and crypto kind of sniffs that out. The ultimate fear proxy. It's fascinating to see how gold just can't buy a friend through this. All the buying power is going straight into crypto and Bitcoin. And gold is just being left behind. I find that incredibly fascinating. Now, you can almost see that bonds and Bitcoin now are highly correlated. Is gold now being left in the dust here? keep in mind we are technically out of the commodity cycle. So, ironically enough, you really shouldn't be a commodity bull now. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. So, back to our conversation here. Interesting to see US dollar. We're up against a really key pivot here. I like the idea of the US dollar bottoming. I've talked to you guys at length about this. But could we have another little FU and maybe Bitcoin sniffing that out a little bit through this December event? You know who is not conceding election results yet, which of course doesn't inject stability. It injects instability, which might drive people to sell their US dollar investments if they just don't feel like there's solid leadership coming out of the political structure. It's totally possible. Wouldn't surprise me. You know, that's kind of like talking head kind of thing. I mean, I have no fucking clue what's going to really drive this. What I would simply say is the Fed has easy money policy right now. We're very worried about sickness. And interestingly enough, this should actually be the same as when Alan Greenspan in 2001, the stock market was collapsing following 9/11. And he was saying, look, the stock market should be nothing more than a footnote in this whole experience. Really, what's more important is this whole damn terrorist thing. I might argue the same thing. Hopefully by the end of all of this, people don't even really talk about the stock market. Really, the stock market's not the important thing here. The most important thing here is, you know, we try and at least get at control of this sickness and start, you know, making a plan for going forward. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. So stocks right now kind of wavering, but I still think the path of least resistance is up here. I don't mind the idea of buying insurance. You know, at some point, you know, the piper will have to be paid. But I think in the short term, we got a triangle working here. And I think the path of least resistance, like I said there a moment ago, is still up. But why don't we, for illustration purposes, because that's the whole purpose of these videos, why don't we keep a close eye on the crude oil here? And if this crude does actually end up double topping here, we'll strap on a short on the double top failure, risking to new highs, a break of this high, looking for that collapse. If it comes, then we'll officially get short again, and we'll see where this takes us. So keep your eyes peeled there. We'll just sell on a stop below that low. 40.06 looks like it says. Yeah, somewhere in there. Again, yeah, 40.06. Yeah. Illustration, paper, right? Edutainment, all that kind of fun talk. If it doesn't break down, then there just won't be a trade. So we'll keep an eye on that. Interesting how right up against this upper trend line, I suppose if stocks do fail here, we got some downside to go. So let's keep an eye out. Let's see what happens here. Bonds pointing back up. Interesting how the gold really is having a very hard time joining the party. It should be rallying, especially, you know, the way that the corn's rallying here. And the bonds moving higher. So maybe gold has its day in the sun, just waiting for some sort of maybe industry catalyst or something. What I did notice out of the big gold stocks, though, was I didn't really see a lot of follow-through buying. And stocks like AEM, which is one I've been following, I was thinking about taking this trade. It's just not really doing much here, right? I mean, how do you look at that and say you're bullish? That looks like a big M to me. Ugh. So, not really doing much over there. A lot of these little juniors, you know, this is the kind of stocks I like buying, right? And not very sexy. I'll be selling when it does this kind of stuff. So I love the look of this kind of stuff. And there's tons of names that look like this right now. Hell, even the crypto stocks. Woohoo, crypto! There goes Hut. Jeez, somebody's piling into here. Mara. Hey, Mara's finally going to let Mr. Barstool out of the closet. Beautiful little W. www by the something something something.coms. Jesus. Lots of really cool little stocks in here. So, I mean, we're just having fun. Are you trading the stock market or are you trading the market of stocks? Long this thing. I love this stock. These pod stocks just look fabulous. That one looks like he's got another leg higher here. I'm kind of getting off topic here though, so we should. Oh man, my little electric car stocks. I got this alternative fuel stock. Look at this thing go. Woohoo! So I mean, market sure is exciting. I'll tell you that much. Look at that. Here's another one of these pod stocks. Look at this beautiful setup. www.buytheyouKnowWhat.com, right? There it goes. What a beautiful trade. And the irony of it all is these things got so much further to go. I could easily see this thing jump up into here. So I'm not really, I don't want to step in front of it, a lot of this. But interesting, like the S&P, I did go and buy some of these shares recently, just as an insurance policy. And FYI, I actually bought a Bitcoin put option today, kind of insurance thinking. Did buy a little bit of this at 5 and change. You can see, obviously that wasn't the bottom. I'm going to watch this over the next little while. We'll see how this, not a very good looking bottom whatsoever. And then again, remember, into that December 21st, I'm actually thinking the stock market is going to peak. So I would expect saying these things should trough then. Also, this dog, fascinating how it's up on the day. But again, I thought we were bottoming in here. Took a look in here, and I was kind of like, well, I might go and buy some calls on this thing. But we just never held. So there just isn't anything for me to do there right now. But I am watching closely. What I'm seeing, though, is I'm seeing a lot of these little names that we've been picking up. This guy has just been teasing us day after day after day. This son of a gun looks like it wants to go. I mean, it's just sitting there. So all somebody has to do is sneeze, and off she goes. I remember this is one that our little TRISOF club was interested. Look at that. I think, Kevin, actually, this was maybe one of your ideas. I mean, that thing's got rally written all over it. So, anyway, we'll see what happens. Caveat emptor, buyer beware, enjoy the ride, all that kind of fun stuff. Woo, look at Mars above $3 now. Ooh, bigger W's. Actually, we could even do like chaos levels on this. Watch this. Ready? Let's see where this thing wants to go. There you go. And actually, that makes perfect sense, right? You can see the gap, right? You can see the original top. So that makes total sense to me. And look at that. Look at the internals. So if there's somebody who watches this free video who happens to know that Barstool guy, maybe you're friends with him, maybe you subscribe to his newsletter, whatever, please do him a favor and send him this chart and just say, your idea might have been like a good investment, fundamentals, but you can't buy when it's doing this. You just got to let things settle down and then, visit my website, www. You know how that goes. W. Anyway. So, what am I supposed to be talking about with you guys? Sorry. Where are you? You're over here, aren't you? Yeah. Junior stock market, I just went through a whole bunch of names that look pretty sexy to me. Market's up. Crypto stocks looking fantastic. Hats off to Mr. Novogratz. His stock has really performed well. So I had kind of said that I was a little bit leery about coming in on the long side here. Yep, the damn thing keeps moving higher. I suppose it's the same thing as Bitcoin. Very difficult for me to justify coming in on the long side here. If anything, I want to be a net seller. Right into these rallies, I want to sell into the rallies. And the irony of it all is that, and I even put a tweet out to this effect today, that one of the reasons why I really like this idea, there's my put that I actually got filled on. I bought a put today. Oh, boy. Anyway, one of the ideas I tried to convey to the audience today in the show was, Kavarkinator, I think I've said it repeatedly, and half my job is to make all of you people famous. So if you go and do good trades, oh man, I am going to tout you like a son of a bitch. So Mr. Kavarkanator, he loves his 88.6s off the original W. He came in and bought here. Right? Way to go, Kevin. Nice trade. So, one of the reasons why I like this sell half on a double kind of thinking is, okay, if you bought there, well, so where's your first double? It's right here. Right? All right, let some go. And it sort of does its thing, and I don't know what's going to happen, but okay, well, if it doubles again, I'll let some more go. And gee whiz, that was right in here. So double, double. And I said to Kevin earlier today, well, you better get your next double order working just in case. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen here, but this is why I really like that sell half on a double strategy is you always stay long. You're always in this thing, and you just don't know what the fuck's going to happen. Simple as that. So, I mean, it's the same. I mean, this is the kick in the pants about trading. Sitting here, 12,000. Brian, should I buy this? It's looking pretty nosebleedy. You better do your reload zones. Right now it's 13,000. I just missed $1,000, Mr. Beamish. Should I buy Bitcoins? I don't know. It's looking pretty nosebleedy. Do your reload. Right now it's 15,000. I just missed $4,000, Mr. Beamish. Should I buy my Bitcoins? I don't know. It's looking. I mean, every single bull market, exactly the same thing happens. It's so cliche, it's ridiculous. All I can say, and it's the same thing I said repeatedly, and I'll keep saying the same thing, is what I do in these videos is I tell you what I do with my money. I don't even really care whether you buy anything that I talk about in these videos. I don't care. I do this as just sort of a demonstration of all the crap that I've learned over the years and years and years. And I have to look you straight in the face and say, I'm sorry, I cannot be a buyer of this asset here. If anything, this is everything about our don't chase, don't chase, don't chase. You're just not allowed to chase. If I did want to be a buyer, well, that's a pretty good looking neighborhood, especially on the sort of Wyckoff check kind of thinking, coming back down against these candle body levels. Love it. So that's a perfectly realistic reload zone to consider. I think ultimately at the end of this reload zone will have to be traded too. But that's just my opinion. And the irony of it all is by the time we actually do trade back down to this level, number one, you're going to have completely forgotten this conversation. And number two, by the time we actually do get back down to here and I ask you, would you like to buy some Bitcoins now? You'd be like, nah, not really that interested anymore. It's so cliche. Every single bull market, this always exactly the same thing happens. So I don't have a problem, and I fully expect, a week or two ago I had somebody say, you said that I should buy reloads on it, it's gone higher, so unfollow, unsubscribe. Okay. Probably going to get a ton of that. And I even said in like January, February, said probably by the end of this year when we get into this goddamn celestial event where everything is just absolute lunacy, logic has gone right out the window, nobody's thinking rationally. My hunches, probably a lot of people are going to just not be interested in these kind of commentaries anymore. So if anything, I kind of don't like running these kind of educational websites through these kind of markets. It would be best just to turn everything off. Let the top come in. Let the market settle back down. As soon as we start getting into reload zones, turn the videos back on. Because that's ironically what's probably going to have to happen here. I tell you, I went through exactly the same thing through this. I actually had people with completely straight faces tell me, Brian, Bitcoin will never come down in price again. So, do it as you please. Sure hope you get some edutainment out of all this nonsense. So, we're coming up on the backside now. We've only got the Jupiter and so I guess we'll line up Jupiter and Saturn. We got that one event left, and that's December 21st, this big line here. Ironically enough, I'm not interested in buying Bitcoins. What am I interested in buying? I love this library credits down here. It's not really a quote-unquote buy signal or anything down here, but wow, I love the look of that. Oh my God, it's perfect. And yet that's probably the most boring, most unpopular, most unsexy thing I could possibly show you. We had a great presentation by one of our OGs on the sort of the story behind this coin. I love the idea of accumulating this. And then, just actually the same thing as Bitcoin. When this thing is acting like this nonsense, right? Through here, and everybody's rah, 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 you're going to hear Brian's on the sell side. So, anyway. Initial objective off of one of these purchases is just to simply sell half on a double, get your risk-free trade on. You tell me, is that at all realistic for this asset to trade to that yellow line right there over the next year or two? I think that's pretty realistic. So that's the kind of stuff that I do in the market. Remember I showed you that funware? Same sort of thing. That's sort of my bread and butter. That's how I make money. I like to buy against lows and sell against highs. So if that kind of approach interests you, you're more than welcome to follow along what I do. Certainly no guarantees from management. I feel very confident in my approach, and it does work. It's a very different approach. Here's another example where this one came down, again, bottom end of a range, and I started drawing out all of the levels. And when I actually produced this chart, a lot of people on social media were like, you're an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about, and this thing is a dead coin and it'll never work. And you can see what it's doing here. So it's not really a question of how do we say this? Nothing's ever 100% in this world. You all know that. It's just a question of is this a risk that's actually worth taking? And buying Charlie down there around $50, I think that was a risk that was worth taking. And I think through the crypto space over the next year or two, you're going to see lots and lots of this kind of price action. And of course, the first guy who's got to lead the charge is the corn. So he's doing his job, and he did it admirably. And actually, this is kind of a funny thing to end on. We've been talking, of course, about the significance of the year 2020. Right? This 2020, all of you guys now, you're going to look back on the rest of your life and go, fuck that 2020. That was crazy. But this is kind of an interesting thing. We talk about, global reset and world hegemony and all that kind of crap, right? Well, could we not look back maybe 5-10 years from now and just say, well, 2020 was nothing more than when Bitcoin went and put in a big honkin' monthly W. www by the somethings.com. So, if anything, that's an absolutely perfect image for this world that we're in. Maybe this silly thing is going to go to 300,000. Like I said, we got our raffle. I don't think that happens tomorrow, but who knows. This is kind of a funny image I'll leave the video off on. Check this out. According to Mr. Foggenbaum, with this confirmed monthly W, our objective should be, I think I've done this for you before, boink, 50,000 bananas. And if all hell breaks loose, and it just keeps going, $91,000. So, I don't know. Do with it as you please. I'm not here to tell you what to buy or what to sell. You all know that. Could I buy Bitcoins here? No. If I did get a pullback into a nice reload zone here, especially against this candle body low, oh my God, that's like the buying opportunity of a lifetime. But only time will tell. I am long lots and lots of crypto and lots of Bitcoin, so I'm not complaining here whatsoever. But at the same time, too, I can't be a buyer here. So, anyway. Okay, sure hope you enjoyed that free offering. Hope it helps. Edutainment, all that kind of fun talk. PMA for the win. You want to try and build that framework to help you actually get in there and start trading and actually have an expectation to make money from trading. I think we do a pretty darn good educational program. It's about 30 years of cumulative information all crammed into 3 or 4 levels. In fact, actually, I pretty much have a 4th level already written. The kids are all like, win, win, win. And I'm like, I want to retire. I want to retire. But they're not going to let me. So I think we do a pretty good job. I think we give excellent value for the price that we charge people for this information. And I think on balance, we're making a positive difference in this world. So have yourselves a great day. Play from a position of strength, right? Don't take no wooden nickels. Try and make a positive difference in this world if you can. PMA for the win. All the best. The only thing left for Brian to say at this point is a big bye for now.